What a bright sunny day in Abeokuta, the Rock City, Nigeria. Welcome to a special edition of Your Image, a public relations program on TV. Today, we are having a special series called PR Conversation with the Chief Executive Officer. Today, we are glad to have in person the President General of the Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporations and Government-Owned Companies, Ssascgoc in Nigeria, in person of Comrade Kayode Alakija. Comrade, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. It's nice having you. Good evening, viewers.
Well, Comrade Alakija is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Training Development and also fellow Nigerian Labour Institute in Nigeria. He is from Ogun State, which we are very proud of, and he had his secondary education in Kwara State and further pursued his educational career at the Ibadan Grammar School, where he had his HSC, and further proceeded, went to the Premier University, University of Ibadan, to have his BSc Honours in Agricultural Economics. Today, he is the Deputy President too of the Trade Union Congress, which Ssascgoc is an affiliate. I welcome a comrade who is also a member of the World Council for Curriculum Instruction. He is also a curriculum development, head of the curriculum development in Industrial Training Fund. Comrade, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, viewers.
It's a pleasure having you, and congratulations on your well-deserved award.
Thank you, and we want to say a big thank you to your organization for the recognition.
Well, we want to thank Ssascgoc for delivering cutting-edge service in corporate governance in Nigeria. Well, the topic we are into is the role of Ssascgoc in sustaining statutory corporations in Nigeria. Ssascgoc is a union that is empowered and has jurisdictional scope to have its members from statutory corporations, agencies of government, parastatals, government companies, and the like. And it is their responsibility to ensure that they improve on the welfare packages. And, Comrade, what is the vision for Ssascgoc?
Well, the vision of Ssascgoc is to be one of the best unions in Nigeria in terms of membership strength. And to a large extent, we have been pursuing that vigorously. And our mission is to ensure that we organize and unionize all senior staff in all federal and state statutory corporation and government-owned companies in Nigeria. Thank you.
Well, with that, when I look back and I could recollect the vision of the forerunners of the Ssascgoc in the years past, are we still sustaining the tempo, or is there a departure from the vision?
Well, there's no departure. We are only building on the foundation laid by our forefathers, those who actually have this vision to establish the association. But, you know, as time evolves, things keep changing. So we are also moving with time. We are employing other strategies, including technologies, to make sure we are in tune with the current trends. And to a large extent, I think our forefathers are really proud of what we are doing in Ssascgoc as at date. We are reaching out. The membership drive is on, and we keep on increasing day in, day out, and that has made us proud. It shows that Ssascgoc is actually moving up there.
Well, can I ask you, what is the real difference between Ssascgoc and other associations and unions? I'm asking this because the peculiarity of managing businesses is found in Ssascgoc. How have you been able to cope in shaping and getting good understanding with the leaders in those corporate organizations?
Thank you very much. For us, we are a union of senior staff, and we have our core values. For us, we believe the sustainability of the organization where we are present is what also makes us to thrive. And in the light of that, one of our core values is productivity. We encourage our people to be productive, and we are social partners with the management of any organization we find ourselves in. And what we do in terms of social partnership is to make sure that we did not just come up with issues, we also come up with solutions. We think outside the box to see how we can partner with them to move the organization forward such that our members will be the beneficiaries of the gains of the organization. Because it's not just enough to keep making demands when you are not bringing something on the table.
Well said, well said. I could see that you are in various corporations in the state and at the federal level. Looking at the deplorable situation some of the corporations have found themselves, when you look at the provisions of infrastructural facilities that maybe the corporations like water corporations, housing, and the like have found themselves. How have you been coping? How are you changing the dynamics in ensuring that standard is maintained?
Thank you very much. Just like I said earlier, we are partners in progress. What we do is, for us, we think outside the box, and we also provide solutions. In terms of standard, we have been partnering with the various organizations. We understand to identify their challenges. In any organization we find ourselves, what we always do is to do a SWOT analysis of that organization. So how do we turn those weaknesses into opportunities? How do we turn the threats into strength? That is our main focus. Once we are able to identify the threat that are facing the organization, then we now look for strategies to turn those threats into opportunities such that they can grow. And where we also look at their weaknesses, we work around it and say, look, how can we turn these weaknesses to an advantage that will now give them strength, which they can leverage on to be where they are. So in terms of standard, we don't compromise standard. And that is what our members in all the various organizations stand for. Yes, there can be positive or fun, there can be other challenges in organization. But for us, we always ensure that whatever needs to be done, it is done properly and it is done in line with international best practices. And that's what we stand for.
What do you have to say to the fact that most of the corporations and government-owned companies are lacking in infrastructures? When I say infrastructures, I'm talking of the international standard that some of these corporations are part of. And look at the issue of people in the maybe communication environment. How have you been helping the members to adapt to the current change whereby they can make good delivery of their services?
Well, for us, my own background, I'm from a training institution, and what we do is from time to time we educate our members. We organize training so that they can also understand the challenges of the time we are in. And we also make them realize that, look, everything does not depend on your employers alone. In the international world today, we have what we call bring your own device to work. So we encourage our members where it is necessary, where it can add quality to their job. if they have such devices they can bring. And we've also been talking to management to also see how they can bridge the gap in terms of infrastructural deficit that we have in our various organizations. And where we need to talk to government, we've always been lending our voice to that of the management to ensure that government listen and also make adequate budgetary provisions that will give at least a little above average of what is needed so that standard can be ensured.
Well, there is this misconception that unions are the same and that everybody is free to join any union of his own. What's your comment? Well,
unions are not the same, and so I've also heard that people will say there is freedom of association. Yes, every union is a creature of status, and the freedom of association does not stand on its own. It also recognizes the fact that for you to say you have that freedom, you must lay credence to that statute that has been created. So and that is why you have the Trade Union Act. In the third schedule of the Trade Union Act, there is demarcation for the jurisdiction of all unions, and it is clearly stated. Yes, you can be a union of senior staff. The area which you can operate is clearly stated in the Trade Union Act, and everybody must stick to that jurisdictional scope. You cannot be a junior staff union now and say you want to go and unionize senior staff and say because you have a freedom of association. No. The law that establishes your union says you can only operate within the confines of a particular jurisdiction, and your freedom is within that jurisdiction.
Can you explain the scope of Ssascgoc when we are talking about a jurisdictional issue?
Yes, like I said earlier, as stated in the third schedule of the Trade Union Act, Ssascgoc is meant to unionize all federal and state statutory corporation and government-owned companies in Nigeria, except those organizations that are strictly for commercial purposes. So that's our area.
So you do not have any right to go into the civil service?
No, we don't. We go into any organization, statutory corporation or organization that are creation of law, that is set up by Act of Parliament or any other statutory instrument.
So in essence, freedom of association is not absolute?
It is not absolute.
Okay, that's a good enlightenment.
You cannot build something on nothing.
Okay, that's good. You as the President General, what has been your experience in coping with industrial issues in most of these corporations, parastatals, and government companies? I'm saying this because there are certain dynamics that we have found to be happening. How do you cope with organizations like how do you cope with organizations in the housing? How do you cope with organizations in other areas? What are those unique things that you are bringing to the fore to engendering sustainability?
Thank you very much. For us as a union and as the President General of Ssascgoc, we believe, just like I said earlier, our core value, one of our core values is social partnership. And what we do is we engage our organization, we engage their management. No, this is the era of intellectual unionism. You engage them intellectually and you come up with superior argument to make them see reason on whatever you are bringing to the table.
With facts and figures.
Yeah, with fact and figures. You know, we believe in JoJo rather than war. Because even when you war, you still come back to the round table to discuss. To us, we believe that, look, let's bring the management to a round table and let us discuss issues. And let us match them intellectually so that they will also see things from our own angle. And when you are going into things like that, it's usually a win-win thing. You don't go with the mindset that you want to have it all. But in most cases, I think we have been very veritable partners to our organization. They have appreciated us in a lot of ways, and that's why you hardly hear hear us embarking on industrial action except and only if we have explored all other options that's not working, and everybody will have seen that that particular management is either not ready to listen or they are recalcitrant.
What's your relationship with people in government, particularly governors, as to the advancement of your core values in most corporations and government-owned businesses?
Now, we have very good relationship with a lot of state government, especially where our presence are, and where we need to engage them. We've always been doing that, and we've paid some a courtesy visit to discuss one or two issues. It depends on the issue and the peculiarity of each state.
Well, it's okay. But I had one experience or aware that some governments are not particularly in the know of the benefits that Ssascgoc has to offer. Are you organizing training, or you are, or a kind of maybe platform where you can integrate some of these government functionaries as to getting them to know, so that you can have easy way of prospering those government businesses?
Yes, of the truth, we still have a lot of grounds to cover. Don't forget that I told you we are still working, and we'll keep on working. We are not there yet. And but the fact remains that we've been covering a lot of grounds at the state level. Usually, most of our members has always been at we have now are presently mostly federal agencies, but we have been having our inroad into some states. And what we are doing now is we are paying courtesy visit and also sensitizing them. And presently, we are also writing, because we're writing the state government to let them also know that this is where our jurisdictional scope lies. You know, we've been having this misconception of a particular union that is meant for junior staff trying to dominate in some state. And you know, when somebody has been in a state and someone is coming in to say, no, you are not supposed to be there, you know, it doesn't come easy. But we thank God we have been engaging them, and people are beginning to see, more so when we have legal instrument that says we are the rightful union there. So we're working, it's a work in progress.
Does that mean that when you reach out to the judiciary, it has always been a positive development?
Well, I really don't understand what you mean by reaching out to the judiciary. But the most important thing is we went to court for interpretation of our jurisdictional scope, because we realized that a particular union, especially OPTA, has been taking our members in most of these government-owned companies and statutory corporations. And the court clearly declared in 2019 that OPTA jurisdictional scope is for junior staff, and they can only unionize officers on grade level 01 to 06, while Ssascgoc is the rightful union to unionize officers on grade level 07 and above, meaning senior staff. Yes, OPTA went on appeal, and the appellate court also affirmed this judgment on the 28th of July 2023, this year. So, and that's why I said we have the legal instrument to say, look, this is our rightful place, and we are leveraging on that to make sure that we unionize all the organizations that ought to belong to us.
I want you to explain. When you say you are empowered to organize senior members in statutory corporations, agencies of government, corporations, and the like, which category or where are these members found? In which particular division within those organizations are you empowered to unionize?
Well, just like like I said earlier, it's all statutory corporation, both at the federal and state level, and government-owned company. Statutory corporation means any organization that is a creation of law, either by an act of parliament or any other statutory instrument, then, or any company that is owned by government, but that are not for commercial purposes. So anyone that is established to provide services, interventions. Those are the places we find ourselves in.
People in the administrative division?
No. As long as you are a senior staff, either you are in administration or you are in a technical line or whatever, once you are a senior staff, the demarcation is level 7 and above. Once you are on level 7 and above, then you are a potential member. So it does not, there's no restriction as either you are in marketing, you are in administration, you are in public relations, whichever department you are, as long as you are a senior staff in any federal or state statutory corporation or government-owned companies, you are potential members.
So how are you coping with the infractions or frictions that are happening? Because some people are not adequately informed or educated. How are you coping with those members who still find themselves to be adamant? How do you cope?
Well, I like what you have said. You said most of them are not well educated. And one of the instruments we're employing is to make sure that we educate them to know that to know where they ought to be. And after educating them, we also make sure that we bring them in so that they are where they are supposed to be. Yes, we've been having infractions, we've been having challenges from a sister union saying no. And that's why we have the court. When we used to have that in the past, we had to go to court for interpretation. And the court has gladly interpreted and said, look, this is the jurisdictional scope. So wherever we are supposed to be, we use that instrument to say, look, this is what the court affirms. And any organization that does not want to run foul of the contempt of court will gladly oblige us.
Well, thank you so much. Well, as a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development, we see that the issue of training nowadays has been underplayed. How are you helping to resuscitate training facilities for our members? Because training empowers, educates, and equips the employees. And it allows organizations to grow, to change the dynamics, to begin to think outside the box that you mentioned. So how are you coping?
Yes, like for us, what we have been preaching is, if you say training is expensive, try ignorance. You know that ignorance is even more expensive. And another thing is, we always say that if you don't train them, don't blame them. You see, the importance of training cannot be undermined. You can have a 10 million naira equipment. If you don't train an officer to operate that equipment, you discover that it will cause a damage of 5 million to that effect. Or you can even damage the whole equipment that you will not even be able to retrieve it any longer. And what is the cost of training? You see, in the past, what we have realized is that a lot of people, a lot of CEOs, when they are looking for where to cut costs, they always look at the direction of training. But we have gone ahead to now say, look, there is return on investment on training. These days, it's not just training. As a training manager, training schedule officers, as an HR manager, you also impress with your management by letting them know that, look, you're not wasting this money. There is return on investment. And you can attach this return on investment to Naira and Kobo. Because that's the language they understand. That, look, if you train this, it will have a multiplier effect of this. And this is what it will have on your business. And your profit can even have a leap from this percentage to that percentage. Once you are able to do that, then they will be convinced. And that's why you see a lot of multinationals embracing trading. And even in the government circles, people are embracing training because they know that's the right direction to go.
It's been wonderful having with me Comrade Kayode Alakija, President General of the Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporations and Government-Owned Company. It is a delight. We are proud to have him from Ogun State. He has been a great ambassador. Until next week, when we continue to deeper into other areas. It's been a wonderful time. Please Connect with us on Facebook. Connect with us on Instagram. Connect with us on so many platforms on social media. Remember, your anchor is Akin Okudero. Looking forward to your cooperation and partnership in the years to come. You can advertise on this platform. It is a veritable platform to grow your business. Viewers, we thank you for being with us over the years. Thank you. God bless you. We are waiting to see you next week. Bye.
Yeah.